see them. I do. There are dotted lines and arrows and circles. The sky is a chart that explains the entire world, but you can't see it. I know that. The world makes sense. I believe that. I do. It has to. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense. And that would be the worst thing that could possibly happen. No one listens when I talk. They hear, but they don't listen. Even now, maybe your attention is drifting. Why pay attention to me? Why pay attention to Steve Carlsberg? There he goes again, with his theories and explanations. But I see them. I see the arrows in the sky. I understand what is happening. Night Vale is a weird place. No one else sees it, I guess. But I do. It's not like other places. I've never been other places, but I know. I know what other places. I've read books. Don't tell anyone, please. Don't tell anyone that I've read books. I have to maintain my position and the respect of my peers. I am a member in good standing of the PTA. I bring scones, and they're always the first item in the potluck to go. I take great pride in that. My brother-in-law, step-brother, brother outside of law, I can never get those terms straight. Well, he just brings store-made hummus and wheat-free pita chips. Every time, I make my scones with my own hands, from scratch. Sometimes I put in the zest of orange. Sometimes I don't. They're not always the same. Nothing is. People pick at the chips and hummus. They want to be polite. Often, they are not. We all of us, so often fail at what we want to do. That's okay, as long as we understand our failure, as long as we see it. I see my failure to help my community the way I would like to help it. I would like to guide it somewhere new, but the only person who listened to me was that man on the Desert Bluffs radio. And then, well, then all the rest happened. The world would be better if more people saw the dotted lines and arrows in the sky. I could look out my window and see them. I'm doing that right now. Listen, I loved my wife, and she loved her brother, and we both love our daughter. And my brother-in-law, half-brother, double brother? Well, he loves his niece, so that counts for a lot. That counts for most of it. I don't hate him the way he hates me. How could I? I understand him. He hates me because he doesn't understand me at all. He cannot see the dotted lines. He cannot see the arrows. I first met him at the wedding. He's busy, or he says he is. He doesn't always seem to be at the station, or at least he used to be. This last year has been good for him, I think. It has softened him a little, in the right places, although not at all towards me, but I'd never expect that. He was very nice when I first met him. Welcome to the wedding, he said grandly, which was odd, since he actually arrived after me, but it was a nice gesture anyway. And I accepted it with a handshake and a, hello, it's an exciting day, isn't it? I said, here, try a scone. I had made scones. It seemed right in the midst of a formal celebration like that, that a little touch of home, to remind people of the lifetime of simple gestures that this grand celebration was meant to launch. Oh, he said, this is just scrumptious, best scone I've ever had. He hasn't said anything like that in some time. We chatted for a while. I don't remember what about. Maybe the weather. No, definitely the weather. I remember it was the weather because we had to stand in awkward silence for a bit as we waited for the music to stop playing. But then it all turned. How about the secret agents, I asked, indicating the black-suited women and men lining the back of the room, taking photos and writing down everything that everyone said. Ah, he said, yes, well. He was raised in the Night Vale tradition of silence and with a belief in the power of hierarchy and bureaucracy. I had been raised that way too, while they are certainly menacing, there's nothing vague about them. I explained to him then exactly what branch they're from, who specifically they report to, and whose desk those reports ultimately land on. People could die for knowing these things, but I've always known it. I could always just see it, how it is all really laid out. And as I talked, his face changed. It twisted into a grimace. I won't have you teaching Janice lies like that, he howled. And I'm sorry for using such a melodramatic verb, but he really did. He howled, and then he refused to speak to me again. During the ceremony, he tried to object on the grounds that I knew he spoke aloud forbidden knowledge and dangerous truths, which is actually a mandatory reason to cancel a wedding, according to the laws of Nightdale, but his sister talked him down. Since then, though, he's never trusted me. It's because of Janice. It's because I want Janice to understand the world the way I do. I want her to see the arrows and the dotted lines, to know the world, not just repeat what's been told to her. My brother-in-law, as you might imagine, disagrees. She will only learn what she's allowed to learn in schools, he explains to me ragingly and loudly. Don't poison her education. I don't know. Maybe he's right. It's not like knowing has made my life any easier. Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. But every time I look up, I see them. Glowing arrows in the sky, dotted lines and circles, a great chart that explains it all. And I ask you, how can I know all this? How can I understand and not try to explain? How can I see the dotted lines so bright and tangible and deny them? I have to try, even if it means that everyone, even my wife or even Janice, grows to hate me. The truth is more important than